right, we're live. Spread and Bread Week 7. Bread and Spread. No
Yeah.
Colin. Has he responded in our chat lately? I don't know.
No, I haven't seen him. The only time I heard from him is he went to the Appleton North game and didn't tell me. Otherwise, I would have gone to the game. And that's the last I've heard of him.
The Appleton North football game?
He went to the Appleton North football game
like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. And I didn't know it. And then he was asking me a bunch of questions about people. And I'm like, are you at the game? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what? Jeez. Why would you go to the game and not tell me you're going to the game? So anyway, that's the last I heard from him. So
I'm looking at did he text during the Packer game?
Nope.
Come on, really?
Not a thing.
What the fuck is it? What is it? Like, do we get to a point where he just doesn't like us anymore?
I don't know.
I'm dead serious. I'm actually dead serious. Like, is there a point that we get to where, like, does Colin not even like us anymore?
I don't know. Does he like anyone? But us included. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking through as I said, we're going to fly through this because I'm watching Zion right now, who is awesome, by the way. Have you? Well, you're not watching, so I have League Pass, but he's not on. It's on League Pass. I'm just still scrolling here. Where am I? I'm on Friday. I'm on Friday of last week right now, and still nothing. No TikToks. Oh, there you go. TikTok Wednesday at 9:58. So about a week ago, that's the last time we heard.
A week ago was the last time we heard from him.
Jesus
Christ. Yeah, I just the best advice I can give, having known the guy for a really long time, is just don't worry. Don't think about it.
Yeah, but that's the attitude of when we were like in college in 18 and we're in our 40s. Like, can you not communicate a little bit?
I don't know. But
I don't know. Here's the thing: is if the shoe was on the other foot, Conlon would be losing his shit right now. He would be losing his mind if people were not responding to him.
He might.
Not might. He fucking would. I'm gonna have to fucking text Roxanne and see what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Like, where is your husband? Is he?
Maybe she's wondering the same thing.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, let's get into it. By the way, last week I had an awesome week. I was 11-3.
And I didn't look. I have no idea how I did. Probably
you were 8-6.
Oh my goodness. I'm terrible, but I am actually getting better every week.
It's good. And Conlon did not send me his picks either.
Okay, well, he's 0-16 then, or whatever.
Like just to go back, like I do worry a little bit, like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, is something someone in his family or whatever? But like, I still think Conlon would tell us that, like,
yeah,
hey, not responding, having some issue, whatever. I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll hear from hopefully soon. Maybe,
sure, yeah, that'd be good. I'd like that.
New Orleans at Arizona. Arizona's favored by 2.
Yeah. God.
Another gross Thursday night game.
These Thursday night games are actually getting worse, which is hard to even imagine. These are two disgusting teams. How Arizona could be favored in any game makes very little sense to me. That's a bad football team.
Yep.
But they're bringing, you have a short week. New Orleans isn't any good either. I have no reason to pick either team, so I'm really just going to take Arizona because they're at home.
Oh, see, and I could have said the exact same thing, and then I would just say, so I'm taking the points because I'll take points.
Yeah, and there was a temptation just to take the points too. So fine. I'd rather start with us on opposite ends anyway. So I'll take Arizona.
All right, and that line moved actually from 1. They were favored by 1.5. It's up to 2. Whatever. Next game is Atlanta at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is favored by 6. As we all know, Atlanta is 6-0 against the spread.
They are the friskiest of all frisky teams.
That's where I'm going.
And it just shocked the world. And I that 6 number seems big because the Bengals really haven't proven much. They've been really up and down, really inconsistent. I'm going to take the Falcons here.
Yeah, I'm doing the same because they're 6-0.
Yeah.
This next game was the toughest game I had on the board to pick. I don't know why, but so Detroit's at Dallas. Dallas is favored by 7. Dak Prescott likely back, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I ended up landing on Detroit just because I think it'd be funny that Dallas came back or Prescott came back and Dallas lost. And I feel like Detroit's due for something at some point.
Yeah. And Detroit has some talent and I think can stick with anyone. It's going to be interesting when the Packers end up playing Detroit because I think they're going to have their hands full there. The only reason I'm going to take Dallas here is because their defense.
Yeah, that was my fear. Yep.
Yeah. I think Dallas's defense is going to create a lot of problems for Detroit, especially in Dallas. So, yeah, I think that's a big number, but I'm going to take Dallas anyway.
All right. Next gross game, Indy at Tennessee. Tennessee is favored by 2.5.
This is one where I'm going to swing back the other way, and I'm going to take Indy here because of the points. Tennessee, I have no reason to believe in anything that's going on there.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe in either of these teams, but
no reason to.
Yeah, that's why I took Indy as well. I'm taking the points.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay -11 at Carolina. Carolina's fucking awful. Tampa Bay looked fucking awful last week.
Yeah.
How do you lose to Pittsburgh? There's a lot of bad games last week. Packers
so bad.
Which we'll get to, but
last week, when you look at last week's NFL with the college football day, the day before, it was so impossibly because college football on Saturday, not that you know, was amazing.
I saw the end of the Badgers game and I saw the end of the Alabama game.
I mean, one of the best days of college football like ever. And then NFL turns around and just takes a steaming dump. Just awful games, just horrible, like not fun upsets. Like Pittsburgh beating Tampa isn't like a fun upset. It's just like, ugh, wow.
This is stupid. This is
dumb. It just does. It's not good for the league. Like Pittsburgh's horrible. Like, yeah. So anyway, gosh, that's a huge number. And Carolina's bad.
They are bad.
But holy cow, is that just a gigantic number? I'm going to take the Panthers, and I have no idea why. I'm just going to because that number is gigantic.
I did the exact same. It'll probably end up being a bounce back game. Pittsburgh will probably win by 20, Tampa Bay will win by 20, and you'll just be like, it's just a little blip on the radar. It just had a bad week, whatever. But
yeah,
I'm taking Carolina too.
But can Tampa do that? Tampa can't even score any points right now, and they're favored by 11. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, next game is this. Talk about a spread that makes no sense. It didn't make sense last week, and then they proved him wrong, and yet they're in the same spot. So the Giants are on the road at Jacksonville, and Jacksonville is getting 3.
Yeah,
I don't get it. It makes no sense. They're 5-1.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I'm again still not a huge believer in the Giants, but there's no reason to believe in Jacksonville, and there's no reason they've earned the right to be favored by 3 against a 5-1 team.
Right.
So I'm taking the Giants here.
Yeah, I'm obviously taking the Giants because I don't get it.
Yeah.
Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore favored by 6.5. But Baltimore just lost to the Giants last week after another lead in the fourth, whatever they gave away. So,
and another team why do you deserve to be favored by 6 in a division?
But Cleveland's they
bad.
Can't get out of their own way.
I'm gonna take the Browns.
Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore because I think Cleveland just even if they keep it close, they'll find a way to fuck it up.
Sure.
Houston at Las Vegas. Las Vegas favored by 7. Another kind of like. Why? I mean, I know Vegas could be 4-2 right now or whatever, 4-1 right now, or but they're not.
No. And yeah, I mean, Houston's a frisky team. Las Vegas, obviously a very inconsistent team. This is one where I feel like I'm being baited a little bit. I'm going to take the Raiders.
All right. I'm taking Houston. Because Houston has played everyone tough, and the Raiders are just another of those. The Raiders could win by 20, and they could.
Yeah,
I don't think they'd lose by 20, but
Raiders at home, coming off a long week and a bad loss.
True. I'll take Houston. I'll take the points. So.
Right.
Giants at Denver. Fuck. God, Denver's awful too. Like I looked at this spread and I'm like, I know the Jets aren't great, but they go to Green Bay and they beat Green Bay, and now they're going to Denver and they're still underdogs by 3.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. The Jets, I think, have some talent. They proved that in Green Bay.
Yeah,
obviously the Packers aren't. What's that?
They got a bunch of talent.
Yeah, I got a bunch of talent, bunch of young talent. Denver's proven nothing. Again, I feel like I'm being baited a little bit. I'm going to take the Broncos. I don't know why, but I'm going to.
Good Lord, Russell Wilson sucks.
Yeah, he's bad.
I'm taking the Jets. Okay. I'm a believer in Breece Hall.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Seattle at the Chargers. Chargers favored by 6.5. Speaking of frisky, Seattle's frisky.
Yeah, Seattle's frisky, and I'm taking them here. Divisional game. Chargers have proven nothing. Every game they play in seems tight, or they play horrible. Seattle can keep up with them. I think that's a big number. I'll take the Seahawks.
Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos. You do realize they're not in the division anymore, right?
What's that?
You do.
Did I say divisional game? Oh my God! Yeah, how long ago?
It used to be. Yeah, you did say divisional.
How long ago were they in the same division?
Someone else did that the first week of the season because Seattle played. Who did Seattle play? Seattle played Denver. Was it the first week Seattle played Denver?
Yeah.
Someone did, I think it was when
Seattle probably did.
No, it wasn't you. No, I'm saying someone on a high level, a podcast that people listen to, not our podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, and I did a double. I'm like, they're not in the same division anymore, are they? And I'm like,
no, that was a slip up. But it's funny. I don't know. For some reason, I still think of them in the AFC.
I know.
In the NFC for 20 years.
I do too a lot. I'm taking Seattle as well because they're playing really fucking well. Geno Smith is playing well.
Yeah,
the Chargers don't look good at all. They just
no, and Seattle can hang. I think with really anybody. I think they're best in shootouts.
Yeah. Kansas City is favored by 3 against San Francisco. San Francisco laid a big dump against Atlanta. Kansas City. What did Kansas City do? What the hell did they do last week?
Kansas City lost an heartbreaker against Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a game that Kansas City comes out and just kind of reestablishes that they're fine.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I think San Francisco, can keep it close for a while, but I just think the pressure that the Chiefs can put on most teams, San Francisco's not going to be able to hang with them for very long.
Yeah. Pittsburgh with a big upset. This is a Sunday night game at Miami. Tua will be back from all indications.
Good.
Miami's favored by 7. Yeah. Well, that's hopefully for a while.
Yeah.
So Miami's favored by 7, which I thought was interesting. I know Pittsburgh sucks, but they just had a big win.
Yep. I'll take the Dolphins. They're a much better team. I think with Tua especially. Pittsburgh's horrible. I'm not going to let one game convince me they're not.
I'm taking Pittsburgh because I do not think that Tua can make it for a full game.
Okay.
I'm worried. They've had all these quarterbacks for their team has been getting hurt every week.
Yeah, especially with what happened to him. I buy that, but
Monday night game is Chicago at New England. New England is favored by 7.5.
Yeah, the Bears are so bad. There's no way. Yeah. There's just no way. And New England's actually proven this year they can put up a bunch of points. So I don't think that 7.5. That's I'm seeing 7.5. I don't think that's too big of a number for them, especially against the Bears. I'll take the Patriots.
So we always talk about, or whatever, everyone always talks about, that Belichick takes the one thing that a team does well away.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that for the Bears?
Yeah, I think for the Bears, I think they pretty much will just Fields running probably is the only risk that's even left there. They're so bad. They have no running game and their defense sucks. So it's just like, yeah.
All right. I'm taking New England too. All right. Green Bay favored by 5.5 for some unknown reason at Washington. Wentz, who sucks, is not playing, which is probably a good thing for Washington.
Yeah.
I'm taking Washington because I'm not taking Green Bay anymore because they don't deserve to be taken in any game, no matter what the points.
No, how a team that's playing as poorly as they are even could have a spread that big makes no sense. There's absolutely no reason to trust them to be able to even score points at this point, especially on the road in a place that they typically don't play well. I don't care if it's the Commandos, the Commanders, the Redskins, the football teams. Whatever. They don't play well there, and they look as bad as they've looked in a very long time. Sunday was absolute rock bottom. I mean that's a Jets team that, again, ton of young talent will I think, I don't know if the Jets will make the playoffs, but they're a team on the rise. But that's a team that you should have been up 14-0, 21-0, at midway through the second quarter and have one going away, and you got your ass kicked. It's embarrassing, and there's no way in hell I'm picking the Packers until they're underdogs. I don't, unless I see something change. Now, this could be the game. What did I hear on the radio today? That for the Badgers' old corner, Wild Goose, he's starting a corner for the Commanders. Like, he sucked at Wisconsin, and he's starting in a game in the NFL. Like, Washington is so unbelievably bad. But I
don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is, that Badger. But I don't know college football. So.
Yeah, his last name is Wild Goose.
Like WILDGOOSE?
Yes.
A full name, Wild Goose.
He's starting at corner for them.
Jesus.
And, all signs would indicate, this is the get right game for the Packers. Well, I believe it when I see it. We've had two straight get right games.
Yeah, that was
should have beaten the Giants and should have beaten the Jets, and instead, one game you completely blow it, and the other game you got your ass kicked at home against a average team, a team on the rise, but it's still probably a 9-8 team at best. You got absolutely demolished, like totally dominated at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
When do you said rock bottom? When do you think the last time it was this bad? I don't remember the last time it was this bad.
Yeah, I mean, the only times I can compare it to were when the years that Rodgers got hurt and they had to go with backups.
Yeah, but that is. Let me preface this with considering expectations. When Rodgers got hurt, the expectation was whatever.
Yeah,
but if this was Love, this is what we would have expected.
Sure.
So our expectations are in relation to our expectations. When is the last time? Is it pre-Favre?
Yeah, I mean, there was a season with Favre. There was a year where he was healthy, and he, I think at the time, set the NFL record for interceptions in a season. I want to say maybe 2005, they went like 4-12, and got the right to draft AJ Hawk. I mean, how amazing was that? Totally worth it to go 4-12 that year. Yeah, I want to say he threw close to 30 interceptions that season, and they were horrendous. That was the last year of the Shermanator at coach. And
God, we needed that one.
That was a bad year. Like many awful losses, and things spiraled out of control very quickly. Like it was, obviously a team that I think that was the year after the Michael Vick playoff loss.
I remember that loss at the Cottage.
Yeah. And then they turned around and went 4-12 the next season, and that was a bad year. That was a rock bottom kind of year. I think they picked number 6 overall the following year. That was just a bad team, poorly coached team. But the Packers right now look really bad, and they look like a team that is not going to make the playoffs. If this continues. And, I have defended the defense to some extent.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
The Jets had 3 points at halftime. I don't, and maybe it's because I'm a defensive guy. I coach defense, all that kind of stuff. So I tend to defend the defensive side of the ball more so than the offense. But how many possessions did the Jets have in the first half? 6 or 7, and they had 3 points. And, you gave up 27. And I'm not going to defend the defense in the second half of the ball, but you can't continuously put a unit back out on the field with the way that you've distributed the money you spend to a quarterback and to Aaron Jones and to offensive linemen. You're built to win games right now, probably like 28-17. So
sure.
your defense is gonna give up some pretty inexcusable plays. The defense hasn't really given up a lot of big plays, but have they gotten absolutely worn down and given up these long drives against the Giants and Jets? Yes, they're on the field way too much. Yeah. And that's just the argument I continue to make is I don't think any even good defense, you can't just keep running the guys out there and be like, yeah, shut them down. Okay, we're going to go 3 and out again, shut them down.
Sure.
Yeah, we're going to give up a block punt, or I think the Jets had 2 possessions inside Green Bay where the drive started inside Green Bay territory because of I can't remember, was it the Dillon fumble? Excuse me. The Dillon fumble. And I think there were 2 possessions that started in Green Bay territory, and the defense gave up 3 points total from those. What else do you want from these guys? I understand the draft picks invested. I understand whatever, but right now it's not a shutdown defense. It just isn't. It's not the way it's built. It's not where you spent your money. So,
yeah, I mean, I get your point. I mean, up till that 3-point kind of what are defensive. Barry's been bad. I mean, my whole thing is someone's got to be held accountable, and I mean, they're not going to go LaFleur. I think Barry. I think that article on The Ringer is very, very good.
Sure,
they've got the personnel's there, and it's like Barry's just not using them right.
But okay, so if he was using them right, do they win on Sunday?
I don't know. No, I mean, because we can't. I get it. Offensively, we can't score either. I understand that. Yeah, I get it. Maybe it's 6-6.
Yeah.
But a lot of that stuff you feed, like, those things feed off each other, right?
I think so. I think the offensive momentum feeds into defensive momentum, but you can't gain any defensive momentum when you continuously go out there, shut teams down. How many sacks does Gary have at this point? He's had a ton of huge sacks, ton of like momentum gaining plays on defense. And the offense goes out there and just has 3 horrendous plays and they punt.
Yeah, the play calling, the play calling is really bad. I don't know what the hell they're doing half the time. Some of these balls are just fucking chucking up.
Yeah.
I mean, they miss Adams obviously, but the offensive line's not great.
Yeah.
What's gonna be the first thing that changes? Something's gonna change at some point, right? Someone's gonna get fired. Has to. Is it Barry?
I don't know what will happen. To me, firing Barry at this point is totally irrational, just because the offense has been the bigger problem. So you're going to fire the defensive coordinator when, in my opinion, a lot of the season the defense has been fine. The defense has done their job, which is to not give up big plays, to not consistently getting the ball driven down their throat. They've given the ball back to the offense with plenty of opportunities, with good field position. And what I just don't understand is they have a perfect offense and a perfect setup for run the ball, play action, deep shot. Like, what the hell else?
Yeah.
If you run the ball consistently with the guys that they have, guys should be wide freaking open. You shouldn't need Davante Adams with the offense and the offensive line that they have. If you consistently run the ball, Lazard can find an open spot. Dobbs can find an open spot. Tonyan can find an open spot. I feel like they should be going vertical, and everything is out to the sidelines. Everything is horizontal constantly. like they're constantly throwing patterns or the ball out to the edges, and they're constantly running out to the edges. When I'm like, you have a really good center. I understand the guard play has been bad, but I feel like they're running sideways when they should be running straight ahead.
LaFleur's calling the plays, right? Is he?
Yeah.
So is that the first? I don't know. Will LaFleur be like, we need to change? Someone else is going to call the plays.
Yeah, and I don't have as good a sense of that as I did, I think, under McCarthy, as far as how that's distributed. If he doesn't call plays, then I don't really know who does. He was brought in to do this, so I just the whole thing is really just confusing to me because this has not been an issue. And I understand losing Adams, but they've been good without Adams.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. They're like 7-1 or something like that, or 8-1.
Yeah. So it just to me is just a ridiculous excuse. You're like, well, we don't have this amazing guy anymore. Well, this has happened before.
Yeah.
What was the Arizona game? Was the Arizona game last year where Adams was out, or 2 years ago where they went to Arizona in like a Sunday or Monday night game and played amazing without him.
Yeah.
Without him and like two other guys at wide receiver.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I just don't get why this is happening, or when you have, I know, we argued with Mike quite a bit, and his argument was they just don't have the personnel or whatever. I'm like, they have the same personnel.
Yeah, the personnel's fine.
Personnel is the same. You basically have Dobbs instead of Adams, which is not a good trade-off by any means. But that's not an excuse to score 10 freaking points against the Jets at home.
Yeah, so, all right, the Green Bay Packers are 13-4 all-time without Davante Adams. And
3 of those losses are this year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's actually, yeah. So this one is, I think they were 7-0. It says they were 7-0.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so it's funny that has not been brought up at all in any kind of talk show. Well, if you find it here, everyone who's not listening, this is where you get that stat.
Yeah.
That conversation. Yeah, I agree. And like, I don't, like Mike was like, Jones is the only good offensive player. It's like, Dylan's not good. Tunyon has the Packers tight end touchdown record. I think he's pretty good.
Tunyon's good.
Like, they've got good players. It's just
could you make the argument that you no longer have that number one guy? Yeah, but I think Jones is that guy. I mean, if you use him properly, he had 4 touches in the first half.
Yeah, 4. Is there a better? And I said this in our text. Is there a better 1-2 in the NFL running back?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think who it would be. Like,
yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think in terms of guys who play regularly, there are really good starting running backs with a really good backup.
Cook Madison.
Yeah, I mean, Cook Madison's a great player.
Oh,
I mean,
Chubb Hunt's better.
Yeah, no, I would say for sure, but not many. Not many.
Right. We're top 5. It's top 5.
And you have a good offensive line. Your offensive line's finally healthy. Jenkins had a horrendous game on Sunday, out of nowhere. But your offensive line is good. I just don't understand some of the timing and some of, like, run the ball straight ahead, not sideways. Run the ball straight ahead. Be consistent with it, and that will set up the pass. Right. If you are consistent with a run, that helps your defense. Going 3 and out with 3 straight stupid pass plays doesn't do anybody any good.
Yeah, that's what's so curious. So some of these 3 and outs, the calls on them, it's like, what, you're just chucking balls up. It's like Rodgers is just hoping someone catches it, or so, like pass interference or something.
Yeah, and they don't have good 50-50 receivers. We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Lazard's not a 50-50 guy. Lazard's a good possession guy. Lazard I love as like a number 3 or 4, but not a, hey, he's our guy. He's our Davante, and we're going to just put it up there and he's going to go get it. No, he's not. Yeah. He never does.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see. I think I have another question, but I'm not even sure what the fuck it is anymore. I don't know. I actually said it's going to be in the 70s this week, and I'm like, I'll go golfing Sunday. I honestly don't even care if I don't watch a game. If I miss it, I'm fine.
Yeah, if it's a nice day, it's a good one just to record and skim through, because it's why waste an afternoon like we have already.
It was bad.
It's frustrating and yeah, they're not entertaining at all right now. So hopefully, they can figure some things out Sunday and get things righted. And they're certainly capable. They certainly have the pieces, in my opinion, to be a really, really solid team. And we thought that coming into the season, and obviously these first few weeks haven't proven much supporting that. But I think there's an opportunity here to right the ship, but it's got to happen really fast. It's got to happen really fast, or they're in a spot where you might as well tank.
Yeah, Jesus. All right, DFS.
Yeah. So going in tomorrow, that disgusting Arizona New Orleans game.
Yep.
A couple guys here. I do like Zach Ertz, but I like Chris Olave a little more. I think he's a guy. He was out last week, kind of surprisingly. So he's going to be well rested coming to this game. So I like Chris Olave. Sunday games, a couple guys jump out to me. Quarterback Justin Herbert, I think, or Hebert, depending on the French pronunciation.
Yep.
I like him. Brandon Jacobs at running back. I think he's got a great opportunity. And wide receiver.
You were on fire tonight. What running back?
What did I say? What did I say?
Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs. I put B Jacobs, Josh Jacobs. Like Brandon Jacobs, like the gigantic dude who played for the Giants.
Oh my God.
Money. Yeah. Too many names.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right. So Jacobs, Herbert Jacobs, and who?
Josh Jacobs. I literally wrote B Jacobs.
Oh, that's great.
Brandon Jacobs, Josh Jacobs, and then CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, going against Detroit.
Okay. I got Juwan Johnson over 22.5 receiving yards tomorrow night. And then for your Sunday, I got Davis Mills over 220.5 passing yards.
Still doing well on those?
I think I missed one last, but let me double check. McKissick hit Thursday night. He did not have 3 catches. I think he had 3 targets, but 0 catches. But Jefferson hit on Sunday. So, yeah. And now NBA's here, and it is just a flood of gambling going on in Prize Picks.
My DFS huge slates on DraftKings tonight for NBA, so it's fun. NBA DFS is so much fun.
I like Prize Picks so much more.
Yeah,
but I did my lineups, but like tonight there's like 12 games. How the fuck do you win a 12 game slate in the NBA?
Pick the right guys.
Let me guess, you are winning. You're winning $3,000 right now.
I'm just looking.
It just sucks because if you miss on one spot, you're just fucked.
Yeah. So far, the one guy that's at least hurting my best lineup is Bam. He's not playing well.
Let me see. Where's my 6 o'clock?
I've got one. Halliburton, Heald, Randall. All those guys are playing really well.
Well, I got a bunch of Flames. Well, the big thing today was like all the Spurs.
Yep. Johnson, Jones for Spurs. Yeah. They're super cheap.
Isaiah Jackson was obviously cheap as hell, but he sucked. Simmons sucks. Giddey's not doing well. What other coldness? Adebayo. I have Adebayo too. He sucks too right now.
Yeah. Well, there's always the 9 o'clock slate.
I've got
you get all back.
Yeah, that's the oh my God. So we talked about this optimizer for Prize Picks. I told you about it, right?
Yeah.
So one of the optimizers this morning was is it Isaiah? I think it's Isaiah Stewart, right? Isaiah Stewart on the Pistons.
Don't say a wrong name on the show. You get called out for it. John right? Stewart.
Right. The game's over, so let me just double check. I think it's Isaiah Stewart. I don't know why I'm second guessing. Okay. Well, so Isaiah Stewart. So the prop was over 0.5 3-pointers made. And it was on the optimizer right away. And then a couple guys tweeted it out, whatever, the guy that runs the optimizer. They tweeted out. Prize Picks took it off the board because so many people were betting the over. So anyways, Jameson, I told Jameson that I gave it to Jameson. and he just messaged me. He's like, Stewart just made a 3 with like 10 seconds left.
Oh, nice.
So he was like over 3, whatever. So,
hey, it counts.
Yeah, those are fun. So the Pelicans, by the way, are beating the Nets by 23 right now. 106 to 83. And Zion is having himself a night. They're good. Man, I like the Pelicans. I'm excited. See, Pelicans. I got my Pelicans shirt on.
Yeah, wow.
All right. What's you guys play Saturday?
Saturday? Yep. Winner of West and East. West and East play tomorrow night.
Okay.
Right. And so whoever wins, and then Saturday begins the hopefully long postseason run.
I think we touched on it, but I can't remember. Are we headed for a Kimberly Appleton North?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I couldn't remember the path.
Yeah, that'll be that's the 1 and the 2.
Okay.
Kimberly's path is pretty straightforward. It's as straightforward as North's is. So
Caden and I were talking if he had heard that if the boys get there as well, and it's a boys Kimberly North, that it's going to be a doubleheader.
Yeah.
On that Saturday. Wow. So boys first, girls second.
Whew, that'd be a day. That would be a day.
We'll have a tougher route because we'll most likely play Kaukauna on Tuesday. And we just beat them. But it'll still be tough, which I think we talked about last week anyways. But
yeah, and North played Kaukauna last night. North boys played Kaukauna last night and just wiped them out, which surprised me.
Yeah, the first set was pretty tight.
Yeah.
I think it was like 25-21 or 22.
Yeah.
And I think second was not as tight. Yeah, the third set I know they just destroyed them, but which is funny because in the FEA conference meet, Kaukauna beat North. I know it was only 3 sets, but they beat them.
Sure.
So a little bit more. I think there's a little bit more tougher road. Well, I mean, for us at least, it'll be tougher. But
it's going to be an interesting postseason FEA sports with football too. North.
You're gonna travel to Chippewa?
No.
Or wherever you going, Hudson? Where is it at? It's at Chippewa?
It's at Chippewa, and if they win, they're at Hudson the following week, which is crazy.
Yeah, and then you got Kimberly's got to play Fond du Lac tomorrow. Or Friday night.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Fondy's got talent, but I think Fondy caught him on the right night a few weeks ago.
Well, my assumption is Fond du Lac's going to try to again just throw the ball a ton.
Yeah.
And see what happens. So
yeah, and that's Fondy's strength. Fond du Lac's quarterback is really good. So he was pretty solid against North. So
all right. Well, we had a quick one, which is fine.
Quick is good.
Up Zion. Conlon didn't show up because we have no idea if he's even alive. So
yeah, hopefully we get confirmation on that soon.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk.
All right. Later.
All right. See you, man.